Welcome, race fans, ladies and gentlemen, iRacers, elves, all of Santa's helpers. Welcome to the 5th annual KMA Racing Santadega. We're out here tonight at Talladega for 113 laps. We have added 13 laps onto the normal 100 lap race. It's going to be a little bit confusing for the guys. We're going to see who pays attention to that little change that we've done. But 113 laps of Talladega coming at you in the Chevy Silverado and Toyota Tundra for our 5th annual Santadega. We've got a host of great drivers in here. In fact, we have got a prior winner of Santadega 3, Rob Haynes. Rob Haynes in Santadega 3 won underneath caution, as caution did fly out. Race was stopped on lap 98. He's going to be coming in here tonight trying to get a two-peat. That'll be pretty cool for Rob Haynes. We've got Joel Guy. We've got Chris Hogue. We've got Donald Stewart and Mark Jackson joining us tonight. Mark Jackson, definitely no stranger to Winner's Circle. We've got very special guests in here tonight, Jimmy Crow and Ernie Williams Jr. hanging out from the Crow's Nest League within iRacing, coming over to run this very special event here for our 5th annual Santadega. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one thing I do want to talk about along with KMA Racing very briefly is the Christmas season and its relationship to PAD. And as you know, we are huge supporters of PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. And this time of year, folks, very easy to get distracted. You want to pick up that cell phone, you want to just dial home. What was on my list? My wife did it to me the other day. Called me up, forgot her list at home. Fortunately, she was in the store at the time, not behind the wheel. But here within the Christmas season, that's something we have to pay a lot of special attention to. We have to stay focused and stay away from the dangers of distracted driving. And if you'd like to find out more information about the PAD organization, go to padd.org. If you'd like to make a donation, that'd be mighty great and generous of you. We also have wristbands, bumper stickers, all sorts of goodies. Make great Christmas gifts to the ones you love. So keep PAD in mind this time of year. Hope your Christmas season is going very calm and you're avoiding the hectic things that come along with the season. And I tell you what, tonight it might get a little bit hectic out here. We're looking at about 17, 18 drivers getting ready to head out onto that track for 113 laps of Talladega. And you know, here at Talladega, you're going to have the big one. A lot of decisions to be made. Right off the bat, do you qualify? Do you not qualify? Do you want to start off in the front of that pack? Do you want to start off in the rear? When are you banking on that first caution? How aggressive do you get? When do you get aggressive? Lap 80? Lap 90? I've seen drivers get aggressive on lap 5. Do you just ride on lap 5? Wait till the pitting strategies happen? Speaking of pitting, we're going to have a 65% fuel load. So the pit maneuvers tonight, we're going to be looking at about lap 40. Different from our normal lap 30. So we're looking at 40, 80. You're going to have to get some more fuel in it because otherwise you will not make it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, drivers are done qualifying. And we're going to take a very quick look at that qualifying grid as drivers do begin to line up onto that track. Starting off there on the number first spot, we've got Donald Stewart pulling down a 54.615. Very nice, Donald Stewart. Representing Canada in second position, we've got Lloyd Saunders with a 54.643. Good job there to Donald and Lloyd, taking on those all-important front two positions. Sitting off in third and fourth, we've got the Crow's Nest, Ernie Williams Jr. in third, Jimmy Crow in fourth. Now I expect Ernie and Jimmy to really stick around with each other. They both are here representing Crow's Nest Racing. Right here we've got our first team challenge. Off in fifth place, we've got Paul Cohen. Michael Johnson, huge believer in pad himself. We're going to take a look at Michael Johnson's pad truck before this night is over. Right now, Mike's sitting in sixth. Seventh position, we've got John Woodruff. Mark Jackson, position 8. We're going to see a lot of Mark. He can get pretty loud out here on these tracks. And I tell you what, he's brought home more wins than I can count. Frederick Hofstetter, back in position 9 in Santadega 3. Winner, Rob Haynes, back into 10th position. 11th position, we've got Freeman Kelly. Mark McFadden out of Canada. Wonder if Mark will hook up with Lloyd. They're separated by 11 spots. Anything could happen at Talladega. 13th position, we've got William Wise, representing the guys from Loose Lugnuts and the Paint Shop, run by John Hedrick. William in position 13. Ivan Garcia, position 14. I want to wish Ivan Garcia a big happy birthday. Turning 74, I believe, just a couple of weeks ago now. Next Saturday, we're going to be doing another live broadcast here at KMA TV for Ivan for his birthday race. Another 113 laps at Talladega. Back in 16th position, we've got Robert McFarland. 17th, John Henderson. 18th position, we've got Gary Whitmer. Joel Guy, our standing admin for the night, back in 19th. And Kevin Scott Nelson back into 20th position. Taking up the rear, we've got the number 6, Chris Hogue. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there is your starting field for 113 laps out here at Talladega. Lloyd Sanders up there on that front row. We expect a whole lot out of Lloyd. Now, we don't see Lloyd a whole lot, but we're hoping to see a whole lot of him tonight out there in that number 1 Coca-Cola. But he's going to have to be a little bit faster than Donald Stewart. Donald Stewart, actually, right now, the man to beat in the Boston Red Sox number 78. But watch out for that number 17. Ernie Williams Jr. representing Crow's Nest. Those might be the gentlemen to watch tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Kicking off 113 laps of Talladega in the Chevy Silverados and the Toyota Tundras. Anything can happen at the Santadegas. Drivers lined up side by side, getting ready to roll. Pace car is in. Donald with a slight lead on the number 1 of Lloyd Sanders on this first start of tonight's race. Crow's Nest holding in the same position. Inside lane a little longer on.
Green flag.
Green flag drops and away we go, ladies and gentlemen. Boogity, 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 getting her done at Talladega. Now, Donald Stewart and Lloyd could hook up if Lloyd can get down to that gap, but that's not going to happen as the number 17 starts to roll. 17 making a big move early. 17 being driven by Ernie Williams Jr. Lloyd Saunders making a big run on that outside lane. Help from the number 51 on the inside. 51 belonging to Paul Cohen. On the outside lane, the 16 trying to get up to the number 1. And we've got Crow's Nest in opposite lanes. Would really like to see the Crow's Nest get together tonight at Talladega. Donald Stewart holding that front line. Position 1. Here comes Lloyd on that outside, getting a push from the number 16 of Jimmy Crow. Drivers say in double file on this first lap of 113. No 3 wide. Honestly, I don't expect to see a lot of 3 wide tonight until later on into the night. 004 Michael Johnson, third position on that inside lane. Big supporter of Pad. Not wanting to get real close to the rear end of Jimmy Crow. Not familiar with Jimmy Crow. This is the Crow's Nest first trip into KMA. Hopefully KMA will treat them right and they'll all get along tonight. 117 of Johnny Woodruff. Fourth truck in line down onto that inside. Hanging off the rear end of the number 51 of Buzz Paul Cohen. Buzz is the nickname of Paul Cohen in the number 51. Not sure why they call him Buzz, but he likes to be called Buzz. So remember that. Paul Cohen in the number 51. We'll call him Buzz. In the 117, we'll call that Johnny Woodruff, Mr. Steady, holding a fantastic line out there. Lloyd Saunders still on the outside, getting help from Jimmy Crow, but not quite able to work his way around the number 78 of Donald Stewart. Dropping back a little bit to the number 3 of Mark Jackson up in that uptight lane. Nice paint job. Mark Jackson out here tonight representing Overtop Paints and Designs, run by John Hedrick. Number 117, Johnny Woodruff. Nice looking Christmas truck right there. Pad.org down there below the left front tire. Rob Haynes in the number 68. Hell of a good. Santadega 3 winner. Trying to make a good run. Get a little help from the number 18. Number 21 of Freeman Kelly working along with the number 32 of William Wise. William Wise all decked up, ready for Christmas in the green and white. Number 32 truck. William Wise representing the paint shop. Up lane, we've got the number 48 and the number 68 working along front to back. 48 being driven by Mark McFadden. Mark McFadden known for staying more so towards the rear of the pack until later on in the race, then deciding to make his move. You got to keep in mind, folks, we already still have 108 laps to go. We've added on to 13 extra laps of tonight's race. Lap 5 of 113 in the books. Number 15 of Gary Whitmer Sr. sneaking into the picture. Nice looking Christmas truck being driven there by the number 52 of Gary Whitmer, hanging off the rear end of Billy Wise in the number 32. Two drivers I do know that will be sticking together thick and thin will be the number 111 of John Henderson and the number 224 of Kevin Scott Nelson. Kevin showing a little bit of Christmas spirit there in the number 224. Showing his love for the Santadega. Kevin representing Kickin' Ass Asphalt Motorsports. Along with the number 111. I'm sure we'll be seeing these two drivers pit together. Short pit, long pit. got to remember that pit load is up to 65%. So we're looking at about lap 40, 45. Joel Guy in the number 91 tonight. Looking a little bit Christmassy there with the Grinch on the front and the back. Showing his purple pride there for the love of pad. Oh, we appreciate that, Joel. Ivan Garcia in the number 72 driving the Tide Chevy Silverado. Happy birthday to Ivan Garcia. Had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. Another year in the books for the old guy. Next weekend, we're going to be having a live broadcast. Caution is out. Unfortunately, the number 32, William Wise, involved in it. I'm going to take a look at that and see if we can figure out what happened. William Wise, an innocent victim. Up there in the front, as it appears that the number 16 maybe making a little bit of contact. Down onto the number 51. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunate break there for Crow's Nest. Talladega Superspeedway, anything can happen. First caution coming out on lap 8 of 113 here in the Santadega. Underneath our first caution of the night. Now the question is, ladies and gentlemen, to pit or not to pit? Appears our leaders, Lloyd Saunders and John Woodruff, have decided to pit in. William Wise will have to get a new truck on that one. Unfortunate break, therefore, the drivers that did get caught up into our first caution of the night. Pace car coming around. Drivers heading down pit road. Donald Stewart, our race leader, making his way into pit row. Number 17 on his way out. 17 being driven by Ernie Williams Jr. Donald Stewart, front man on the line, making his way out on lap 9 of 113. How about it, Donald Stewart? Have you got a copy?
Hey, Scotty, I got you.
How you doing out there tonight? Merry Christmas.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Hold on, let me shut the radio off. Okay, I got the other radio muted. Go ahead, Scott.
Alrighty, how's it feeling out there tonight? Early caution here on lap 8.
Yeah, I was surprised because I was talking to a lot of drivers on the radio, you know, when we were communicating. Was like, man, this is nice. Nobody was bumping and all that, and we were having a good old time. And then all of a sudden, the wreck happened, so it really threw a couple of us off, you know.
Well, have they got a pretty good Christmassy atmosphere out there on the track tonight?
Yeah, everybody's having a good time. I think, you know, we're out here to try to put on a good show for you and all the viewers and everything. But I don't know what happened back there, so I really can't comment on that.
All right, copy that. Now I do got a question for you. There's got to be a storyline about the truck. Tell me about the Boston Red Sox number 78.
Oh boy, hope I don't choke out. But my dad passed away 2 days after Christmas, so and he was a big time Boston Red Sox fan, so you know, during Christmas I put this truck on the track just to keep his memory up and alive, you know.
Well, I tell you what, you're looking great out there, and our prayers are with you during this time of the year. Got to be a rough time for you, but you're looking good out there in front. I'm gonna let you get back out there. Good luck to you, Donald Stewart.
Thank you, Scotty. I just want to say is when I was doing my qualifying, you know, I was thinking about him, and I was like saying, Dad, just be with me, let me get the pole, and look what I did. I got the pole, so maybe he's riding with me tonight.
All right, copy that. I'm sure he's over in that shotgun seat.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, underneath our first caution of the night here at Talladega in our Santadega, our 5th annual Santadega. Come out here every year about this time of year to see if we can put on a good show off the artist paint jobs. A lot of drivers out here tonight, a lot of pride put out in a lot of the paint jobs out here, as you've seen. One of those painters that we do keep a real close eye on is John Hedrick, Over the Top Paints and Designs, and he's out here tonight being represented by William Wise. William Wise looking very good, but unfortunately one lap down, and Billy is in the pits taking on repairs. Johnny Woodruff in same shape, tough brakes. Lloyd Saunders in pit row as well. 3 drivers sitting in pit row. Now those drivers, as this race will resume, they'll be hoping for another caution so they can work their way back up to the front by way of the lucky dog. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it does not. Now we're going to get this restart going on, and it's going to be a little bit different this time. Donald Stewart down on the inside. He'll be contending with the number 17 of Ernie Williams Jr. Now, Ernie did get caught up a little bit into that first caution, but I tell you what, he's looking good out there, ready to roll it on for Crow's Nest. And Michael Johnson in the 004. Now, we had talked about Pat a little bit. The 004, Michael Johnson showing his support for Pat, and Mark Jackson sitting back into 4th position. Very strong position right now for Mark in the Over the Top Paints and Designs Christmas number 3. Kevin Scott Nelson will be restarting off into 5th place. Now I'm really fond of this paint job here on the number 224. Also made by Over the Top Paints and Designs. Very nice looking paint job. Really like to see that paint job up there getting in a top 3 tonight at the end of the night. But I want to give a big shout out there to John Hedrick, Over the Top Paints and Designs, the number 3 and the 224, representing OTT. Paul Cohen, another painter out here in the group, doing a little bit of Yosemite Sam out here tonight. Getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Drivers are beginning to gear down. 2nd gear starts as a preferred method out here at Talladega. 65 mile per hour pace speed, which when you're coming down from 197, I tell you what, that is quite the drag and drop. A couple of my favorite drivers out here. Well, one of them's right up front. Very fond of Mark Jackson. Used to call him Gravedigger back in the day. High hopes out here for all of these drivers. Nobody out of it yet. 14 drivers on that lead lap. 17 drivers still on track. 3 drivers, 1 lap down. Pace car will be entering pit area. We'll be back to Green Flag Racing. Starting on lap 12 of 113. Pace car is heading in. Not bad. One more lap. Alrighty, they have extended the caution for some reason or the other. Another very Christmassy looking truck is the number 91 of Joel Guy. Billy Wise in the number 32. Billy part of the Sim Possible Racing League. Very nice looking truck there for Billy Wise. Number 111 of John Henderson getting out on track. Representing Kickin' Asphalt. Not the most Christmassy truck, but still a pretty slick looking truck out there. Donald Stewart getting ready to roll. Tell you what, these cautions, they're really hard on the drivers, as they do roll around 3 laps under caution sometimes. Usually it's 2. They had 3 on this one. Ernie on that outside lane, ready to go. Fifth annual Santadega underway. Hopefully this will be our one and only caution. Pace car heading in. Donald Stewart on the inside. Ernie Williams on the outside. Ernie pulling up.
Green flag.
51 up Paul Cohen. Second truck on the outside, and away we go. Donald Stewart is exactly where he wants to be right now. He is in the best position he can be right now. Out there in first with Mark Jackson on his heels. That is exactly where you want to be. Mark Jackson holding a very solid line. Thoroughly hooked up to the rear end of Donald Stewart. Third position belonging to Mark McFadden. Ernie Williams on that outside lane. 3 trucks back. Outside lane falling apart. Possibly picking it up as they do round. Turns 1 and 2 get onto that back stretch. If they're to make a move, they've got to make that move onto that back stretch. And there will be a caution. Right there it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you be the judge. Number 51 caught up into it. I do believe that might have been the 32 of Billy Wise. Caught up into it. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. That was a rough one. That'll bring out our second caution of the night. Taking a look at it one more time as the 51 makes contact. 51 making contact, coming down a little bit. Not sure how the 91 survived that. But I tell you what, surviving he did. We are underneath our second caution of the night. Donald Stewart still back in front along with Mark McFadden. Second caution coming out on lap 15 of 113 here at the 5th annual Santadega. While we are underneath caution, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of quick commercials and we'll be right back with you. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, underneath our second caution of the night. A couple of early on cautions coming on tonight. We've still got 97 laps to get out there and get her done on. Drivers are just getting warmed up. Not something I'm really going to be really concerned about. You know, a simple mistake out here at 197 miles per hour. I tell you what, it can do you in. I do want to take a little talk with Ivan and get Ivan's perspective on what's going on out here tonight. How about it, Ivan? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All righty. How's it going out there tonight? Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, man, it's too many cautions so far, though, for just little people in here. But other than that, I'm fine. You know, it's a good race. It's a good cause, you know.
All right, now I tell you what, I hear you had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. You know, hey, getting older, brother. You know how that goes.
Yep. And next week we're going to be doing a live broadcast, another Talladega race for you coming up. Do you think, are y'all ready for Christmas out there?
Oh, man, I'm always ready for Christmas, man. I start early, you know what I mean? So I don't have to rush to do nothing. I'm ready, you know what I mean?
and you got Barbara something special.
Oh, yeah, she's my, you know, my love. And she's always by my side. So she's takes care of me. And that's why I'm so healthy. Because of her.
All righty, copy that. All right, now that you've got two cautions underneath your belt, what's your plan for the rest of the night now? You're sitting in 6th position and you're staying out.
Yeah. I think I'm going to hang out. I just get in the pits and got new tires. And I'm just going to hang out behind somebody and see what happens.
All righty, good luck to you, Ivan.
Thank you, sir.
Ivan Garcia deciding to stay in, not top her off. That'll be a new position for Ivan Garcia. Donald Stewart still leading. He's led every lap of the race tonight. He's led 17 laps. Mark Jackson now will be starting off into 2nd position. Now Mark actually started tonight's race back into 8th. Mark playing a very smart race tonight. And we did see Mark and Donald hooking up nose to tail, but this time they're going to be door to door. That'll be quite the difference for Mark Jackson and Donald Stewart. 1.5 laps, and we will be back to green flag racing here at Talladega. Unfortunately, Rob Haynes falling to 2 laps down. Paul Cohen falling too, 2 laps down as well. Joel Guy, Freeman Kelly, William Wise, 1 lap down. Crow's Nest lined up 3rd and 4th. Kevin Scott Nelson, John Henderson 6th and 7th. We had talked about those drivers lining up nose to tail earlier on. "16 drivers still in tonight's race. We've got 10 drivers still on that lead lap very early in tonight's race. Lap 17 of 113. Drivers heading back into pit road to grab an extra gallon or 2 of fuel. Mark Jackson pulling alongside Donald Stewart, getting ready to go back to green flag racing here at Talladega. Now, you know Donald's got to be getting a little bit antsy, leading 18 laps out here tonight. You know, the trucks between the cautions really have not had a chance to get out here and get any of that rubber built up onto this track and off of those tires. Once that happens, that's going to provide for some very interesting racing. But right now, Donald Stewart pretty much is just holding his position down in that front lane. That outside lane cannot get around that front lane as long as the inside pole sitter has a good pusher. It cannot happen. But we've got Mark Jackson now on the outside lane, and he's going to be getting a huge push from the number 16 of Jimmy Crow. And what's more, Jimmy and Ernie, another Crow's Nest driver, side by side. Well, this could be pretty interesting, folks, because I tell you, Mark Jackson, he's going to make a beeline for the rear end of number 78 of Donald Stewart. Mark holding steady, getting ready to go. Huge gap between the number 23 and the number 16 on the outside lane. Well, that's going to cause a problem there for Mark. Mark needs to have that 16 up on him. Pace car's in. Tightening it up a little bit onto the number 3.
Green.
Green flag drops, and away we go for our second restart of tonight's race. And a huge gap falls on that outside lane. So that's just going to shoot momentum of this inside lane completely forward. Mark Jackson already beginning to fall. Truck and a half length back off of the number 78 of Donald Stewart. Donald holding on that inside. Number 16 needs to get up onto that number 3, and he has, and here comes number 3 of Mark Jackson on that outside lane, getting a big push from the number 16 of Jimmy Crow. Jimmy side by side with his partner, Ernie Williams Jr. Ernie all over the rear end of Donald Stewart. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do some racing this time around. We've got 94 laps to go. We've got a long time to go and a short time to get there in tonight's Santadega race. Number 72 of Ivan Garcia holding steady in position 6, side by side with the number 48 and the number 32. Positions are split. Number 32 a couple laps down, but still in it to win it. 32, first driver, 1 lap down. So the number 32 of William Wise He's got to be very, very careful not to get any injury if that next caution should come around and fall. Huge gap between the number 72 and the number 17. 16 not getting real close onto the number 3 either. None of these trucks right now are really pushing other than the number 17 on Donald Stewart. Inside lane falling apart a little bit. Number 72 of Ivan Garcia lengthening that gap amongst him and the number 17. Outside lane making a run. I said, oh, we've got contact. That'll be our third caution. Will it fly? Will it fly? Caution is not flying, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go back and see what happened right there. Now, we are still live, but this is the replay. No caution has fallen. As contact between the number 1 and the number 21 comes across track. 3 trucks out, 4 trucks out, but no caution flew, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunate break for those drivers, as no caution has flown, but that was a huge 5-truck incident right there involving at least the number 1 of Lloyd Saunders and the 004 of Michael Johnson. We are back to live view. Unfortunately, Rob Haynes caught up into it, and Rob Haynes out of tonight's race. 10 drivers back on that lead lap. John Henderson pulling out of pit row, and there goes that pack, putting John Henderson 1 lap down. 9 drivers on that lead pack, but Michael Johnson, the 9th driver in that lead pack, flying solo, he's going to be put down a lap very, very soon. Kevin Scott Nelson, position 8, same situation. And here is our pack, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Jackson, Mark McFadden, Jimmy Crow, Mark Jackson up in front. Go, Mark Jackson, go. Put the hammer down, brother. Get a good shove there from the number 16. Number 16, Jimmy Crow. Billy Wise still in it to win it. Billy Wise 1 lap down. Going to get his lap back the hard way if he can get around Mark McFadden. Mark McFadden sitting in position 2. Mark Jackson side by side with Mark McFadden. Mark McFadden leading 1 lap. Mark Jackson leading 2. Donald Stewart still up there in front. Donald Stewart leading 21. Going to be coming up doing a little bit of 3 wide. Putting a driver lap down. Lloyd Saunders still in it to win it as well. Lloyd started off a nice race in second. Coming around the 004 of Michael Johnson. Started second, currently in fourth for Lloyd Saunders. Michael Johnson allowing the pack to fly through. Mark Jackson side by side with Mark McFadden. Mark McFadden doing a great job out here tonight. Amazing job for Mark Jackson, especially though. Started off in 8th, right now in 4th. Mark McFadden started off in 12th, currently is in 1st position. Mark McFadden, possibly our biggest mover of the night. Now the number 32 of William Wise, I really like this picture. I really do, except for Billy's 1 lap down. Billy has got to get up there in front of the number 48. The number 48 dropped down in front of the number 3 of Mark Jackson. Mark McFadden now totally in charge of tonight's race, leading on that inside lane. But watch out, we've got the number 3 of Jimmy Crow. Jimmy Crow's coming, and Jimmy Crow is knocking on that door, just waiting to get a run up on that inside. Donald Stewart sitting in 4th position, still doing a fantastic job out here, as well as the number 51 of Paul Cohen. Paul Cohen holding steady, but unfortunately 2 laps down. Paul Cohen's job right now is to find somebody and give him a hand, or a shove, as it might be. 117 on that upside lane. Johnny Woodruff 3 laps down. Well, it's a shame for Johnny Woodruff. Would have loved to have seen that truck tonight in victory lane, looking all Christmassy. But Johnny's still out here, and he is in it to win it as well. Truck's back to double file position with Mark McFadden, Mark Jackson totally in control of tonight's race on lap 27 of 113 laps to go. Lloyd Saunders in the Coca-Cola truck, hailing out of Canada, just right along in his automobile, taking his sweet time. No big rush for Lloyd. After 2 early cautions, drivers have settled down tremendously. We've only had 2 lead changes out here tonight. 2 cautions totaling out 9 laps. Michael Johnson in 004, 1 lap down. Number 117 heading up into that high side. A little bit of 3 wide momentarily. Mark up onto that outside. Mark will be challenging Mark McFadden for another lead. Mark Jackson back up in front of Mark McFadden. Very nicely taking that lead away from Mark. But even so, it's the Marky Mark show out here tonight on lap 29 of 113 of the 5th annual Santadega. Mark Jackson, Mark McFadden basically trading laps. Now, interesting situation here, though. We've got Billy Wise separating Mark and Mark. And Billy is Billy is 1 lap down. In order for Billy to get that free pass, he's got to get in front of Mark Jackson. Caution has got to come out. Assuming that Billy gets no damage, he'll get that free pass. But he's got to get around Mark Jackson. And I think right now, Billy's probably more in the mood just to keep Mark Jackson up there in front. Both drivers tonight driving for over-the-top paints and designs. So I don't expect Billy to really be working on challenging the number 3 of Mark Jackson. And I'm not so sure Mark McFadden right now is really worried about where he's at as long as he's in the top 3. Mark Jackson allowing the number 32 of William Wise, Billy Wise, to get back up into position. Now, as long as Billy stays in front of everybody, technically he's on that lead lap. He's no longer 1 lap down, but he's got to stay up there. If that caution comes out behind him, he'll drive around, catch the pack. He's back on that lead lap. Simple as that. Mark McFadden, Donald Stewart Positions 1 and 2, Mark Jackson sitting in third. Roy Saunders and Mark Jackson challenging one another. Donald Stewart and Lloyd getting a little close. Beginning to get some green flag racing here in at Talladega. Mark McFadden down in front of the number 32. That will knock William Wise back down one lap. .32 very content just to stay up in front. .117 side by side with the number 3 of Mark Jackson. .117 Johnny Woodruff, 3 laps down. Joel Guy still in it to win it. Starter 19th, currently in 11th, 1 lap down behind Ivan Garcia. But still well part of this front-running pack. Ivan Garcia in position 7th. Now Ivan is on that lead lap. Pushing on to the rear end of the number 51 of Paul Cohen. Paul Cohen, unfortunately, 2 laps down. Going to be doing a little bit of 3 wide. Coming down the back stretch at 187. Big shout out there to Kristen Phillips out there on the KMA TV chat, coming to check on everybody. We appreciate that. Got John Hedrick out there on the KMA TV chat, keeping an eye on how his boys are doing. Keeping an eye on William Wise, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson doing a great job out here tonight. Mark Jackson right now in 5th. Has led 4 laps. Right now, Jimmy Crow is the best friend Mark Jackson has got. Jimmy Crow representing Crow's Nest started 4th. Right now, currently in 6th. Mark Jackson in 4th. Donald Stewart in 3rd. Number 48 of Mark McFadden up there on that front line in first position. Taking on a little bit of rear end damage as he's getting a huge boost from the number 32 of William Wise. But on the outside lane, here comes the 117 of Johnny Woodruff. And Johnny Woodruff is 3 laps down. 117 dumped by the number 17 of Ernie Williams Jr. Crow's Nest to the front of the pack on lap 36 of 113. Ernie Williams Jr. wanting to get a lap lead. Here comes the 117 on the outside. No matter for Johnny Woodruff, as he is 3 laps down. Ernie Williams Jr., representing Crow's Nest, has led his first lap of the night, being pushed by the number 48 of Mark McFadden. Billy Wise still lap down, still in it to win it though. On that outside lane, taking a look at the 004 of Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, first driver 1 lap down.
Caution, caution.
Gonna back that up and see what happened. Looked like that might have been an ugly one. Contact between, right there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like Mark Jackson, Donald Stewart, and Billy Wise ran out of lane. And Donald was caught up in the middle of it. Wow, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, you hate to see that happen. Little better shot of it there as we have Mark Jackson, Donald Stewart, and William Wise. Tough break for these drivers, I'll tell you what. I mean, they're all teamed up, trying to get her done. Hopefully these drivers will have backup vehicles and be able to get them back on track. That'll put Ivan Garcia on that front line underneath caution. Mark Jackson in second position. Pretty sure the drivers will be heading into pit row. Mark Jackson, Ivan heading on in. A few drivers will be staying out, hoping to get their free pass. Joel Guy in pit row with a blown engine. John Henderson staying out. Ernie Williams Jr. sitting out there in second position. How about it, Ernie? Have you got a copy?
I sure do, buddy. How's it going?
Doing great. Now, I tell you what, I'm not very familiar with Crow's Nest, but I got a feeling that by the end of tonight, we're going to know who Jimmy and Ernie are.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I hope it's for a good reason, too.
So far, I tell you what, you're looking great. And I said at the beginning of tonight's race that I would see Jimmy and Ernie from Crow's Nest sticking together. And so far, you guys haven't been separated by more than 2 or 3 trucks.
Yeah, I like to keep him around. He likes to keep me around just in case we can get a chance to get up and move around. You know what I mean? It's always nice to be by a guy you know.
All right, copy that. Tell us a little bit about Crow's Nest.
Well, Jimmy, man, he starts with Jimmy. I always told him it starts at the top. You want a good room, the guy that hosts the room has got to be the guy that makes the room the way it is. And Jimmy's rooms, they're very respectful. There's no cussing. There's no berating drivers, man. We just run clean, good hosted rooms, man. And he does a lot of things for us, man. He gets, does it 24/7 hosting pretty much what he does. You know what I mean? Between him and his dad. But they're a good group of guys that just love super speedway racing, man. They like clean respect, and they're like making friends on this game. It's just not racing. We're all friends with each other, man. I got that man's phone number. I can call and ask him anything I need anytime. He's a good guy.
All right, copy that. I hear that, and I copy that. That's the way it is here at KMA. So I tell you what, I'm really glad to see KMA and Crow's Nest racing together. I tell you what, come on in here, make yourself an impression, and get Crow's Nest up there to the front 1 and 2.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ernie Williams is making his way into pit row, doing a great job out here tonight, right now in 9th position. And we've got his partner in crime, Jimmy Crow, sitting up there in 6th position in the number 16. Up there in front, Lloyd Saunders. Well, looky at Lloyd. I tell you what, very impressive. But Lloyd, no stranger to where he's at. How about it, Lloyd? Have you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
I tell you what, look at you. You started up there in 2nd position, 3rd caution, You're up there in first position. Well, hell, you ain't got no further to go, do you?
No, this is about as far as I can get. Anything here is all backwards. But no, that last caution, that worked out for me. I didn't have enough to make that extra lap with those guys. I pitted, and I figured they were going to catch me. I thought maybe they had enough for a lap or two.
Now, after 3 cautions within 40 laps, I mean, that's not too bad, but we could turn ugly here. What's the atmosphere down there on the track?
There's a couple that are a little jumpy, but, you know, overall not too bad. Just got to know who you can push and who you can, I guess.
All right, now I see a few other Canadian drivers out here tonight. Are you trying to hook up with anybody special?
No, I usually work pretty good with Donald. As far as any other Canadians on here, I don't even know who's here, to tell you the truth.
All right.
I'm looking out for number 1.
All right, number 1 and the Coca-Cola. Silverado, you're looking good. All right, good luck to you, Lloyd, and a Merry Christmas to you up there in Canada.
And you too, Scott. It's good to have you back.
All right, Lloyd Saunders out there leading up on tonight's pack. Now, you'll notice, folks, that we've got the number 52 sitting up in front of Lloyd Saunders. Now, what's going to happen here, the number 52, he's getting ready to take his free pass along with the number 21 of Freeman Kelly. They're behind the pace car. Once we get to 1 to go, they will get what's known as a free pass, and they'll be able to be waved around that pace car, get back onto a higher lap for Freeman Kelly. That'll put him from 3 to 2. So for Gary Whitmer, he'll be back quite a few laps. Gary Whitmer has fallen several laps down, and there goes the number 21 with the 52 following suit, working their way around this speedway to get them 1 lap closer to being back onto that lead lap. But up here in front, we have got Lloyd Saunders. Taking a look at our running order, Lloyd, Ivan, and Donald making up our top 3. Mark Jackson has fallen down to 7th position. William, Joel, Johnny, Paul, Freeman laps down. This will be pretty interesting up here on this restart for Lloyd and Donald. Lloyd said that he likes working with Donald, but does Donald like working with Lloyd? Getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here at Talladega. KMA Racing Special Events, Santadega 5. Hold out, Talladega. Hope you are enjoying your Christmas season, ladies and gentlemen. Keep pad in your thoughts, people against distracted driving. Very easy this time of year to be distracted. My wife went to the store the other day, called me, did I leave my shopping list on the counter? Yeah, you did. Were you distracted? Well, in her case, distracted by a baby. I guess that's allowed. But with Pad, we're more focused on cell phone danger. Keep the cell phones down, ladies and gentlemen. Pace car is in. Lloyd Saunders lining up side by side with Ivan Garcia. Only one truck in that upper lane to help Ivan. It's going to be interesting what happens here with Michael and Ivan. I got a feeling that outside lane is going to get blown away.
Green flag.
Green flag drops, and away goes Lloyd and Donald, number 1 and the number 78. Lloyd Saunders leading 6 laps of tonight's race. Donald Stewart showing those purple rims for Pad. We appreciate that, Donald. 72, Ivan Garcia up on that outside lane, getting a push from Michael Johnson. 117. Tied in tow. Mark Jackson sitting in 5th position. William Wise 1 lap down. First driver 1 lap down is William Wise. William needs to save his back. Ernie Williams pushing on the number 21. 21, Freeman Kelly, 2 laps down. Lloyd Saunders, Ivan Garcia, Donald Stewart, Michael Johnson sitting in 4th position. 117 in the mix, with 117 of Johnny Woodruff is 2 laps down. Getting a push from Mark Jackson. Ivan Garcia on the outside lane, not seeming to be able to really get anything going on. Donald Stewart working very well with the number 1 of Lloyd Saunders here on lap 44 of 113. Hooked up. 78 just completely bumper to bumper. Pushing as hard as he possibly can. You know that truck's got to be heating up. Ernie Williams on the outside in 4th position. Jimmy Crow back in 5th. Well, we've got the Crow's Nest lined up 4th and 5th. Very impressive job being done tonight for the boys from the Crow's Nest. Mark Jackson down on the bottom in 6th position. Mark McFadden back in 8th. Mark no stranger to the front. Mark has led 9 laps out here tonight. A little bit of a 3-wide situation developing there between the 48 and the 04. Breaks back down. Now comes the 224. 224 of Kevin Scott Nelson. So far we haven't quite seen the 3rd lane utilized. Not like it could be. Drivers really staying down there in 2-lane position. Probably not a bad thing. Save that stuff for, the final 20. 52 up, Gary Whitmer near the rear of the field. Hanging on for everything he's got. He has got the draft. Got the draft up to 111 of John Henderson. Nice little Christmas truck right there on the number 52. One of Joel Guy, the Grinch. Right situation development. Racing here at Santadega. Number 48, Market Patty. Side by side, they're 16 up. 004 in line, 224 losing momentum. Williams up on that high side of the number 17. Getting a run on the number 48 like that added. Coming up on two, Ivan Garcia. And what a run 17 and the 16 have got. And away they go on that upside lane all the way up to the 117. Three wide situation heading on. 61 laps to go as they are 3 wide. Crow's Nest up in that high lane in the number 16. 117, 72 stuck in the middle. Mark Jackson down on the inside. Mark Jackson in fourth and moving, putting the hammer down. Roy Saunders, our race leader, and Donald Stewart up in third. Ladies and gentlemen, this is doing some racing out here tonight. Roy Saunders leading his 16th lap of the night. Three wide racing here at Talladega. You know what's great about this is Johnny Woodruff, 2 laps down, fresh truck. He's leading the pack out here in that middle lane. 117 making a move. Williams on that high lane in 17, side by side with 117. Lloyd down onto the inside. I tell you what, lap 54 of 113, the boys are making her happen out here tonight at Talladega. Ernie Williams leading 2 laps, trying to lead his third out here in the 5th annual Santadega. 117, Johnny Woodruff, 2 laps down. Being pushed on by the number 72 of Ivan Garcia. 3 cautions out here tonight early on. Hopefully we'll be seeing some green flag pit stops coming up here tonight in the 5th annual Santadega. Green flag pit stops are always really way cool. Hope you're enjoying your holiday season. Christmas. Guess what? It's like the day after tomorrow, folks. Are you ready? Are you ready for the fat guy? In the red suit, I should add that. Political correctness. 17 falling back. Trying to get rehooked up with the number 16, 17. Partners in crime from Crow's Nest. But I tell you what, tonight, if this was bank robbery, they'd be halfway out the door. I tell you what, doing a great job. Very impressive. Driving from Crow's Nest. Lloyd and Donald still dominating down onto that inside lane. We're at the halfway point, folks. 57 in the books, 56 to go. Halfway point of 113 laps. Lloyd Saunders, Donald Stewart, numbers 1 and 2. Mark Jackson into 4th position, Donald Stewart in the 3rd. Ivan Garcia pushing the lap traffic of the 117, trying to push him ahead of the number 1, which would be fine with the 117. That would get the 117 one step closer to being on that lead lap. I tell you what, I just don't think Ivan can push any harder. Ivan giving it everything he's got. coming up on 3 wide lap traffic. Wreck! All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be our 4th caution of the night. Happened up in the front. As the number 72 and the number 117. Right there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Simple as that. Number 17, a little bit turned by the number 72. Tough break. Therefore, Donald Stewart, for sure. Oh, and I tell you what, that may have been the big one. Well, you know, it looks like most of them slid by. Man, that's a heartbreaker for the number 78. Once 111 did not make it through, nor did 32. But I tell you what, that's rough when it happens up front. Number 1 getting some definite air on that one there. All right, well, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that was a big one. That was a big one for sure. Roy Saunders will fall 1 lap down at a minimum. Joel Guy 1 lap down. Now Joel Guy is our race admin. Let's tell you what a night Joel Guy is having. Michael Johnson in position 1. Joel Guy in line for the free pass. Good deal for Joel Guy. Ivan Garcia back into 3rd position. Mark Jackson in 4th. Nice job, Mark Jackson. How about it, Mark Jackson? You got a copy?
Oh my God, Scott Kulovic, my buddy. Oh man, I miss you.
Well, I tell you what, are you lucky, or do you just got Grandma Patty driving? I tell you what, look at you,
brother. You know, I was telling Ivan, I said I felt like Moses, man, because the seas parted right there.
I tell you what, you know, you're having a hell of a night out here. 4th caution, we've got 50 to go. You guys had a really great run going on there. We were beginning to look at some green flag pit stops, and then somebody ran out of talent, and I tell you what do you do now with 50 to go?
Well, looks like we're going to have at least 1 more fuel stop under green, and getting on the pit road is always a bear here at Talladega, and somehow we're going to have to figure out how to do it under green and not get into each other.
Now, have you found any favorite drivers? Anybody out here tonight you just really are like, I got to get to so-and-so?
Well, since you're not racing, you know you're my favorite.
Yep.
But Donald Stewart and Ivan, always love him. You know, cut my teeth here in KMA. When I seen you guys had a Santa Claus race up, you know I had to come in here and put my Santa Claus paint on.
Coming in here representing Over the Top Paints and Designs. That's pretty cool. Love the paint job. Well, I tell you what, you've got Ivan in front of you. Donald Stewart, though, he's only a few spots back. You know, this is going to be like that cop song, bad boy, what are you going to do?
Well, you know what? if I'm in a position to get a win, so be it. But if I could help push one of my buddies to the win and help them get a Christmas present, you know I'm going to do that too. It's all about the fun. It's all about KMA. I love you guys, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
All right, copy that. Now, I tell you what, if I need a good paint job, where are you going to send me?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to send you to John Hedrick, Over the Top Paints and Designs, my sponsor. And if you need any race banners, paint jobs, go see us at Over the Top Paints over there on Facebook or on the old interwebs.
All righty, sounds good. Good luck to you, Mark Jackson.
Love you, Scotty. Thank you, brother.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Jackson out here tonight looking for a big win. So is Mark McFadden, Ivan Garcia, and Kevin Scott Nelson, and half a dozen other drivers. We are at lap 64 of 113, 49 to go, 16 lead changes, 14 cautions. Not a bad night out here tonight at all. Freeman Kelly still in it. Heading off in the pit row. Joel Guy 1 lap down. Lloyd Saunders 1 lap down. Lloyd has led 23 laps out here tonight. So a very good shout out there to Lloyd. Ivan Garcia up in second position. Mark McFadden up into first. Mark McFadden. Well, who is this guy? I tell you what, we may have to talk to Mark McFadden underneath the next caution if there is one, because Mark has led 11 laps. Ernie Williams Jr., Crow's Nest. And I tell you what, if this was a gunfight, Ernie would be in a dangerous position. Not for him, for the other guy. Because I tell you what, Ernie has stated, you know, he wants everybody to remember Crow's Nest in a good way. And I tell you what, I see nothing but goodness from this guy. Man, he's going to get up there, folks. I tell you, this cat, if I were to put a win on tonight's race, I tell you what, I might have to go with Ernie. But I tell you what, sneaking into that picture is Michael Johnson in the 004. Side by side with Ernie. Tell you what, we're going back for some green flag racing here pretty quick. Lap 65 of 113, 48 to go, 16 lead changes, 4 cautions. Pace car heading in. Mark McFadden out there on front, side by side with Ivan. Haven't seen these two drivers line up. We've seen them working all night long. Both seem steady, but when you're up there in front, you know, it's a whole different story, and away they go. Both of them have led laps. Ivan's led 3, Mark's led 11. Inside lane, even though it's separated, seemed to have more pull-off. Ivan moving down in front of Lloyd. Not sure Lloyd was ready for that. Ivan moving back up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to get interesting. Now we got 47 to go. One more pit stop to go. We haven't seen any green flag pit stops tonight. Hopefully we'll see him this time round. But I tell you what, Mark McFadden out there on that front line, down on the inside, being pushed on by Ernie Williams Jr. Lloyd Saunders coming on that outside with the number 72 of Ivan Garcia and the 004 of Michael Johnson, side by side with the number 91, pushing on the number 51, lap traffic of Paul Cohen. Joel Guy, Paul Cohen, 1 and 2 laps down respectively, but still going to do everything they can to get a move on these drivers. Ernie Williams staying down to the inside, staying on Mark McFadden. Hanging on to Mark like Santa Claus hanging on to a Christmas gift, I'll tell you what. Paul Cohen 2 laps down, but in there in the number 51. Mark Jackson back into 8th position on that lead lap. We have got just 9 drivers on the lead lap. Mark Jackson side by side with the number 224 of Kevin Scott Nelson, both drivers on that lead lap behind the number 52 and the number 16. The number 52 countless laps down, 16 on lead lap, making his way up to the front. Jimmy trying to get to Ernie, but I tell you what, they had to get past Michael Johnson, Donald Stewart, and Mark Jackson. A little bit of 3 wide up here in the front with Donald Stewart hitting on that outside lane along with Jimmy Crow. Leaving the 117 sitting in the middle, high and dry. Donald Stewart, Jimmy Crow, Mark Jackson got a line on that outside. And I tell you what, this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. I want to see the 3 wide racing, ladies and gentlemen. By racing with Mark McFadden, Lloyd Saunders, Donald Stewart. Donald up on that high lane, getting on with Jimmy Crow, side by side with Ivan. Ernie down on the inside. Donald Stewart up top of the right bumper of the number 72. Jimmy Crow staying steady, ready. Middle lane giving out, middle lane giving out. Middle lane coming back, inside lane giving out. Being led by Mark McFadden. Lloyd Saunders side by side with the number 78 of Donald Stewart. Middle lane taking shape here on lap 70 of 113. But I'll tell you what, Mark Jackson up on that outside lane. Mark Jackson sitting in 6th position, staying true. Now look at it. You could fit a tanker. Santa could fit his sleigh between these drivers without a doubt. Come on, drivers, tighten her up. We can go 5 wide here at Talladega. Mark McFadden down on that inside lane, getting 17 laps. Mark McFadden, who is this driver? I tell you what, we have got to find out more about Mark McFadden, and if he wins tonight's race, we will have post-race interviews. There goes Lloyd Saunders. He's clear, not clear, almost clear. Ooh, Ivan pressure in the number 78. Might be falling back to double file. 78 staying 3, 78 staying 3. Outside lane has completely fallen apart. Come on, Donald. Come on, Mark. Come on, Jimmy. Get up there. Get up there. Right now, we've got a race between Mark McFadden and Ernie Williams, Lloyd Saunders, and the number 72 of Ivan Garcia. Roy Saunders is 1 lap down. So it's really between the number 48, the number 17, and the number 78. The 1 is just a helper. The 1 is a helper, but I tell you what, helping out indeed, Lloyd is being 1 lap down. Chad and Ernie Williams on the inside. Roy Saunders, number 72 of Ivan Garcia on the outside. Plenty of traffic. We've still got that outside lane being led by the number 78 of Donald Stewart. Ivan and Lloyd disconnected. Jimmy Crow still in it all over the rear end of the number 78 of Donald Stewart. Donald and Jimmy making their run. Mark Jackson and Joel Guy holding steady on the middle. Joel Guy 1 lap down though. Mark Jackson on that middle lane. Lead lap. Side by side with Jimmy Crow. They're starting to tighten her up. Donald has reached that back. They have tightened her up. Mark Jackson making a move down to the inside. Mark Jackson moving on up into 5th position on the inside. Inside, outside, inside. Preferred lane is the inside lane right now. 75 of 113 in the books, 38 to go. We are at that pit window. If you pit now and you fill her up, you'll be good to go. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Mark McFadden leading his 21st lap. Ernie Williams leading 2. Mark McFadden now leading 22 laps. Ivan Garcia leading 3. Ernie Williams leading 2. And Donald Stewart leading 21. Lap 76 of 113, 37 to go, 4 cautions. Ten drivers on that lead lap. I want to give a big shout out to the ladies out there on the KMA TV chat. They're killing me with the cookie talk. Gonna make me hungry. Talking about chocolate chip cookies and s'mores and hey, it's Christmas. We can make those special kind of cookies. Special cookies. Mark McFadden leading 1 lap 78. 78 of 113, 35 to go. Now what's going to be interesting, right, ladies and gentlemen, Usually we run 100 laps, but tonight we're leading 113. We're going to see if anybody lets off on lap 100. Thinking, you know, that's the last lap. Well, I tell you what, that could be ugly. That could be ugly. Ernie Williams really just seeming very content tonight, holding his lane on the inside. His partner, Jimmy Crow, sitting back in 6th. .579 of 113, 34 to go. Drivers are eligible right now to pit. This might be a strategy situation. Would really like to see some green flag pit stops tonight. Mark Jackson back in the 5th place. Mark Jackson, Donald Stewart working together hand in hand alongside the number 72 of Ivan Garcia and Lloyd Saunders. Now Lloyd, even though he looks like he's in position 2, he is 1 lap down. Got to remember that, folks. Lloyd Saunders right now is a helper to Ivan Garcia. The number 18 and the number 17 ruling tonight's race. The number 72 in 3rd. We've got a wreck.
Caution, caution.
Right there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We were just talking about this. Now let's take a look and see what happened right here. Right there it is. Riding along in my automobile. Oh, right there, ladies and gentlemen. There it is right there. Contact. Wow. All right, I'll tell you what. That will be our 5th caution of the night. We're going to take a couple of quick commercial breaks, and I'm going to run and get me a cup of coffee. But we'll be right back with you. ladies and gentlemen, in the 5th annual Santadega, brought to you by KMA Racing and KMA TV. Underneath our 5th caution of the night, 19 lead changes tonight. We've got Ivan Garcia sitting out there in front, leading 4 laps. We've got Mark Jackson making his way up to 2nd position, leading 4. John Henderson, Kevin Scott Nelson, Donald Stewart, Ernie Williams Jr. into 6th position. "15 drivers still running strong in tonight's race. It's been actually a pretty good race. A couple of small twitches and mistakes by a couple of drivers, but you know, it's Talladega. It happens. Ivan Garcia finally making his way up to the front on a restart. But like I said, he has led 4 laps. But now he's going to be up in front. He's going to be lining up against Mark Jackson. We'll have to see how that works out.
Horrible.
How about it, Joel Guy? Have you got a copy?
I have a copy, Scott.
Well, how you doing tonight? How's tonight's race going?
Well, I finally got my lap back, so that's a good thing. We've had a few cautions, but overall the racing's been good and steady, so far tonight's been pretty good.
All right, I know you're out there doing double duty, trying to run a race and trying to run admin duties as well, so you got your hands full. What's the general atmosphere? Have we got a bunch of Grinches out there, or have we got a bunch of happy little elves?
We got a bunch of happy drivers. We got everybody's getting concerned about the fact that I had 113 laps instead of 114, so they're kind of superstitious on that 13 there. But you know, it is what it is. We'll live with it and finish this race out, and hopefully finish it out under green, and we'll see who's at the front when the checker flag falls.
All right, now you being down there on the track, I got to ask you. I know you're going to say you. Your first answer is going to be you, but have you got a driver that you think might be able to win this race tonight?
Well, I got a couple that I think can win it. I think Jimmy Crow can win it. I think Ernie Williams can win it. I also think Donald Stewart's got a good chance at it, as well as John Henderson or Kevin Scott Nelson. What? All those are in the front and got a chance to get there.
Well, now we got Ivan Garcia and Mark Jackson up there leading with 29 to go. They don't have to pit.
Yeah, they will.
They're not within that pit window?
Nope.
Alrighty, that may get very, very interesting. All right,
yeah,
well,
I changed things up on you, Scott, and forgot to tell you, I changed fuel load to 65%.
Yeah, alrighty, be very, very interesting.
Yeah, they only get about 24, 25 laps.
24 to 25. All right, good to know. All right, well, good luck to you, Joe Guy.
All right, thank you, Scott.
24 to 25 laps. Interesting. Very interesting here. Ivan Garcia out there on that front line along with Mark Jackson. Drivers staying out, not wanting to get in. Mark Jackson, the preferred winner on the KMA TV chat, posted up by John Hedrick. Big shout out there to Dave Acacia. Got to give a shout out to Dave Acacia. The introductory video that was played at the start of tonight's broadcast, brought to you by Dave Acacia. The pad commercial, brought to you by Gary Whitmer Jr. Gary not able to join us tonight having dinner with his daughter. But Gary Whitmer Sr. out here tonight. Gary Whitmer Sr. currently in 16th position. Ivan Garcia out on that front line. Pace car is in. To the rear end of the number 111 of John Henderson. Paint job brought to you by Old Top Paints and Designs. John Henderson in 4th position with 27 to go. Drivers on that lead lap. Joel Rye being our 10th driver. Going three wide. Ivan abandoned down on the inside. 111 coming to pick up the number 72 of Ivan Garcia. Putting the lap traffic of the number 52 in the middle, along with the number 1 of Lloyd Saunders. Mark Jackson on the outside lane, making a run with the 004. We are into 2 distinct packs now. I tell you what, look at this front pack. This front pack is where the action is at. How about it, Dave? You got a copy? Dave Casey, I haven't got a copy. Ivan Garcia pushing on the lap traffic of the number 52. John Henderson, Lloyd Saunders.
Joe do, Scott, how are you?
I'm doing good, Dave. How are you, sir?
Just got home from work, missed tonight's race, but watching the broadcast.
All right, copy that. Now, I tell you what, you're just tuning in, but, you know, you've got an interest in tonight's race because you've got some teammates out here. And tell me who we're talking about on those teammates.
Well, tonight it looks like we got John Henderson and Kevin Scott Nelson with us, and it would have been me too, but looks like they're doing pretty good tonight.
All right, well, I tell you what, we've got John Henderson right now sitting out there in 2nd place. But the problem is, though, there's lap traffic now. Looking at the field, we've got lap traffic. We've got Ivan Garcia, Mark Jackson. Right now we're 3 wide with the lap traffic of the 111 being dumped up on the high lane. When we're in a position like this with the lap traffic up in front and in the midst, how does that affect the racers?
Well, they just got to be careful, especially in the corners. What I would do on the outside lane, I would try and get a draft on that lead lap cars on the outside, and then work to the bottom to get a run into the corners, stay low and pass them.
Right now, I'm looking at Ivan Garcia pushing on number 52 of Gary Whitmer Sr. Now, Ivan Garcia, he is in 1st place, but he's pushing on the lap traffic up to number 52. Do you think he needs to try to pass that lap traffic or just hang on to that rear end?
No, I think you may get hung out to dry if you wait, but you don't want to run the car over in front of you either. I think he should be, the lap traffic will eventually yield high and let the traffic go. But he's in a good position. I mean, he's, you know, probably on a delay here, but I mean, he's hanging on pretty good.
Well, I tell you what, you know, Ivan is looking like he's really trusting onto the number 52, but you know, we've got the number 3 of Mark Jackson behind the number 72, first place position of Ivan Garcia. Now, you know, Mark Jackson, he's got to be thinking, pass this lap traffic dude, pass it.
Yeah, in order for that to happen, the outside lane's got to get more formed. It looks like cars are, you know, drifting a little bit. They're not as organized as it looks like the bottom lane right now.
Well, we've got Lloyd Saunders of the number 78 of Donald Stewart on the outside lane. Now, Lloyd Saunders, he has played a really great race tonight, but unfortunately, in the last caution, he fell to 1 lap down. So right now, the front 2 cars are both lap traffic. First and second place are actually the second cars on the inside and outside lane. Not very often we see that happen.
No, usually the lap down cars, they'll form up on the outside, up high, and let the lead lap cars go, but it looks like they're fighting to stay on the lead lap.
Lap 92 of 113. Now we threw an extra 113 laps in here tonight. Talk to me about driver fatigue. Now we started out tonight's race, we opened up the doors at 7, so they had an hour of practice, that's an hour, and then right now they've been racing for 2 hours. So some of these drivers have been in their cockpits now for 3 hours. Talk to me about the physical complications that gives us.
Well, me personally, I like to wait. You know, to me, right now, it's not even go time. You know, probably about 105 to 108 is when I think it's really time to go. You know, right now at this point, I'd still be patient. It's still plenty of laps.
Mark Jackson right now in position 2. Ivan Garcia in position 1. Michael Johnson in the 004 in position 3. And Donald Stewart. Now, Donald Stewart has led 21 laps. Now, you're no stranger to leading laps. You're no stranger to the fuel load. Talk to me about, I've heard tell they're going to have to pit one more time, but this is a speedway. Pitting here at Talladega, it's a little different than pitting off there at Kansas.
Oh yeah, you're carrying a lot more speed coming out of the turn with the draft. You got to slow the cars down, and you got to execute. You know, that's how the races are won on pit road. You got to execute the pit stop, take the right amount of fuel, probably with the amounts left, no tires. You know, you have to execute the pit stop. It's part of racing.
Well, and you have to have a partner here at the speedway. Kansas, you know, you don't have to have a partner. Here at Talladega, if 2 of you go in, if just me and you go in, just me and you get a penalty, I'm screwed.
Oh yeah, you're done. It's you know, like say the 224 and the 111. You know, Kevin and John, I'm sure they're going to come together on that last pit stop. And it's not only you that has to execute, your partner has to also.
So with lap 95 of 113, you're close. You're within 5 laps. When do you think is go time?
I would probably say like 106, 105, 106, 107. But it all depends on the pit stops too. When they're going to have to, it looks like everybody's falling to the bottom, so I think it's going to happen real soon.
Now Mark Jackson does seem to be keeping a little bit of distance off of Ivan Garcia, so I think you're right. I think we're going to see some green flag pit stops. You know, we're coming up on lap traffic right now, and only 2 trucks have moved up to that high groove. Everybody's staying down on the inside.
Yep, they got to be getting ready. I see the number 1 just came up. You know, he might have more fuel, and he's a lap down, but you know, the lead lap cars, they're on the bottom, so I think they'll be pitting very shortly.
Now, I tell you something I'm finding really, really cool out here tonight is our viewers have probably noticed the changing shadows, the changing twilights. You know, they opened up some sunshine out here at Talladega within the new build. So that was a really cool thing. We're seeing actually more sunlight in different times as the race does progress.
Yeah, I haven't been online all week because of the holidays. I've been really busy with work,
but yeah, I
haven't experienced it yet.
But you'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love it.
I'll get out there and check it out myself.
Mark Jackson in the pit row, along with Donald Stewart, along with the number 17. All right, so we've got some green flag pit stops coming in. Mark Jackson, Donald Stewart, Ernie is coming in for a green flag pit stop. Jimmy Crow sitting back there in green flag. No tires for Jimmy Crow. Do you think that's a good or bad decision right there? No tires.
I would, at this point, I would say no tires. There's 15 laps left, or, you know, I would just take the fuel and go.
Just take the fuel and go. Jimmy Crow will go. Ivan Garcia out there on that front line. Still pushing on the lap traffic of the number 52. Michael Johnson into second place. Kevin Scott on the outside. No, on the inside with the number 224 in position 3. So you got to be pretty happy. You've got Kevin Scott in third, John Henderson off in fourth.
Yep, and it's all going to come down to how they enter pit road, execute their pit stop, and get out together.
Right now, they're looking very, very sharp out here. Mark Jackson, Donald Stewart, Ernie Williams, and Jimmy Crow hooked back up. Now, those were the 4 that just went into pit row. Now, let's talk about that. We've got 4 drivers that just did pit. Evidently, they put on a perfect pit show, but they're coming up on 4 drivers that have not yet pit. Now, if the 4 drivers up front pit together, where are they going to come out in accordance with the prior 4?
Well, it all depends on what that prior 4 and this 4 does, you know, fuel-wise and tire-wise. You know, you can gain a few seconds and get out on pit road, get out of pit road quicker, you know, with the same amount of cars. You know, you can get that advantage coming out of pit road in advance of the other cars.
Well, right now, Mark Jackson, Donald Stewart, Ernie Williams, and Jimmy Crow are 39 seconds behind our race leaders. But our race leaders, they've still got a pit. Ivan, Michael, Kevin, and John, they've still got a pit. Can they get in and out in 39 seconds?
Yeah, that's the decision, you know. I mean, right now, I think John and Kevin, I believe, are going to pit around lap 110, I heard.
Around 110. Wow, that's going to be cutting it really, really close. But we've also got lap traffic involved in this. We've still got the number 52 of Gary Whitmer Sr. involved. We've got the number 48 of Mark McFadden, 1 lap down. So we've still got lap traffic running with our race leaders. So we've got basically a 6 on 4. Now, when you've got a 6 on 4, do those extra 2 trucks really make a difference?
Yeah, I think you get a little more draft with a bigger pack. You know, but then the pitting also, your pit execution, you know, affects that as well. So, you know, you can run in a bigger pack at faster speed, but if you don't execute the pit stop, doesn't do you any good.
Ivan Garcia, our current race leader, lap 103 of 113.10 to go. Mark McFadden on the outside, 1 lap down. Mark being our first driver, 1 lap down, but Ivan Garcia pushing the hell out of Gary Whitmer. Gary Whitmer many laps down. Lloyd Saunders still up there on the outside lane, but here comes the 224 and the 111. So I tell you what, you know, you've got to be pretty happy with the guys from Kicking Asphalt right now.
Oh yeah, we always rely on patience, strategy. You know, we're never in a rush or push it till the end. You know, we're always try to keep a clean car throughout the whole race.
All right, well, I tell you what, it sounds like it's working. Now, talk to me about some fuel some fuel saving here. You're going into pit row. How much time are you going to save between taking, say, 5 gallons and 3 gallons?
It could be a couple seconds. You know, it all comes down to how much fuel you need. These guys know how much they need. They'll execute, you know, right on the money. And, you know, just enough to finish the race. That's what they're looking for.
Now, they did throw a wrench in it tonight and went to 65% rather than our normal 75%. That dropped it down to about 20-25 laps. But due to 4 early cautions, we have only seen 1 round of green flag pit stops tonight. Ivan Garcia still out there in the lead with a lap truck in front of him and a lap truck behind him. Whoa, now I'm not sure I like the smell of that, because when you go into pit road there, Dave, you want to be bumper to bumper. Ivan, well, he's got about 12 feet separation from his bumper buddy.
Yep. I'm on a little bit of delay here. You know, I think Ivan is staying patient. I mean, he's not gaining, he's not losing, so, you know, he's just buying time right now for his pit stop, and he's got to execute with whoever he's running with.
Michael Johnson has fallen back off that pack by 6 seconds. So right now we have got Ivan, Kevin, and John sitting up here in front in a 1-2-3 position. Tell you what, these 3 drivers, they're going to have to work together and possibly have to work together with some lap traffic.
Yep.
Hey, with 7 to go, the lap drivers, surely they're just interested in helping out.
Yeah, it all depends on their fuel situation as well. I don't know when they pitted last. I wasn't here.
Oh, we got a wreck. We got a wreck.
Will be a caution.
All right, I tell you what, that one there, I'm going to back that up. I know you're on a time delay here, but we have Ivan Garcia, and wow, he clips the 1. I don't know, Dave. I want you to take a look at this, because I tell you what, that one there is ugly.
Yeah, I have to wait for it. Hold on.
All right, I'm backing it up one more time. Oh, and it maybe appears that Joel Guy,
yep.
maybe. Ooh, I don't know. That one there was really, really ugly. Ivan Garcia going for a very intense barrel roll. That's going to change everything. We're going to go back to green flag racing here, I'm pretty sure, but I tell you what, that is going to change everything.
Yeah, the 91 was following the 1. You know, it's hard to see in front of you. You can only try and stay on his tail. And the 1 came down going into the corner, and I think the 91 went a little too far.
Looking at the 72, looking at the number 72 heading off into pit row, and he is smoking. So we're looking at lap 108 of 113, 5 to go. We're going to have to go through 3 laps of caution, so we're going to be looking at a 2 to go. Does that sound right?
If they're on 108, they're probably going to have a 2-lap shootout.
No, I tell you what, that's going to change everything. And some of the guys that were a lap down, if they played their fuel mileage right, you know, they could come up there out in front. Right now I'm showing Kevin Scott Nelson and John Henderson and Mark Jackson and Jimmy Crow in a 1, 2, 3, 4. Donald Stewart moving up into 3rd position. This is all going to be a complete race off of pit road.
Yep, I'm listening to the teammates. I'm sorry, they're getting their strategy together.
Well, tell us what they're talking about.
They're talking about right now they're 0.5 short if they would stay out.
All right, so who is 0.5 short?
John Henderson.
Now, 0.5 short, that's maybe a third of the way around the track?
At this fuel low, I think it's, I think he used 0.4 a lap. But, you're under caution, you're using less, so they're trying to figure it out. You know, it's strategy.
Going to be turning those engines on and off, won't they be?
I know I would be.
Mark Jackson, Jimmy Crow out there in front. All right. Now, I tell you what, I do want to talk to a couple of drivers out here. I do want to talk to Mark McFadden. How about it, Mark? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Now, I tell you what, I've been swearing I'm going to introduce all my fans out there to Mark McFadden because, you know, you've led 26 laps. You have been out here kicking some total ass. Tell me about your night.
Yeah, you're right. I've been to the top, to the front, back and forth. But, you know, these are a bunch of great drivers, and you can trust them. And it just feels good to be able to run up front with these boys.
Now, do you run with anybody, or do you run solo?
I'm a solo guy, yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got a good group of guys I'll introduce you out there to. What do you think? So, right now you're going to be back there in 8th place, but you're no stranger to the front. You're obviously going to have enough fuel. It's only going to be a couple of laps. What's your game plan?
Pedal to the metal.
Pedal to the metal.
You know, I'm trying. It'd be great to get a win here because January the 13th, my iRacing membership expires, and I'm not renewing it. So.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Yeah, got to move on to other things for a while. I've been doing it 9 years. I'm not retiring. I'm taking a hiatus.
All right. Well, I copy that. Well, I tell you what. Good luck to you, brother. You've been doing a great job.
Well, thanks very much. And to any of the fans that are watching there, I just want to say a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy everything to everybody.
There you go. Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be a shame for Mark because, you know, I've raced him a few times, and he's good to go.
Yeah, I was just listening in on our team kicking asphalt, and now even though they pitted, they thought they could probably have made it.
All right, copy that. One more quick interview before we go back to Green flag racing. We've got Jimmy Crow in the booth with us. How about it, Jimmy?
Hey, how you doing, sir? Appreciate KMA having me in this race. I've really enjoyed myself.
Well, good. We're glad to have Crow's Nest. And I tell you what, we've been talking about Crow's Nest. Go back and watch that broadcast. But I tell you what, you've been up and down, to the front, to the back. You and Ernie totally been kicking some butt. But right now, you're in second place with about a 2-lap shootout. What are you going to do?
I'm going to try and get to that front. If not, I'm hoping Mr. Donald Stewart gets in front of me, and I'll try and help him get that win.
All right, so you do have a little bit of help out here.
Oh, yeah, Crow's Nest has some KMA friends.
All right, copy that. Well, I tell you what, Ernie told us all about Crow's Mill. Says you were the man to talk to. Good luck to you, brother. Had a lot of fun with you tonight, and I'll talk to you after the race.
Oh, 10-4, good sir. And again, appreciate what you do, and appreciate y'all having us. Thank you very much, sir.
Yep, yep. Good bunch of guys right there. New friends out there. But we've got Mark Jackson, Jimmy Crow, Donald Stewart, Kevin Scott Nelson. All right, Dave, what's your pick?
Well, you know I got to root on my teammates, right?
You know, I'm telling you, I think we're looking at a 2-lap shootout. You know what? The way they're lining up, I'm going to give Jimmy Crow his first win tonight. My bets are on Jimmy Crow tonight. I think Mark's got a strong-ass truck, but I don't know. I think that with your teammate, Kevin Scott Nelson, behind Jimmy Crow, getting these trucks sped up, heated up, I see a little bit of damage on the rear end of the number 3. That may play into a factor. I have got to give tonight's win, I'm thinking, to Jimmy Crow.
Yeah, with the 2-lap shootout, it's anybody's game. You know, it's go time. You know, there's no holding back now.
Now, the way this will work out, folks, is on a 2-lap shootout, these boys get going. If there's a caution before they cross that start-finish line on the next rotation, it's frozen. Now,
Yep.
is that right?
Yep, as soon as it goes green, if a caution comes out, the race is over.
So they got to complete at least 1 lap.
Well, I mean, they don't have to necessarily complete this, you know, the first lap. As long as the race goes green, if the yellow comes out anytime at this point, it's going to be done.
All right, well, I tell you what, I'm still looking at that rear end damage on the number 3. And I don't know, Jimmy Crow on that outside lane, he's got a clean truck. The 224's clean, the 78's clean. But that damage on the number 3, that worries me.
Oh yeah, it can affect the speed of the truck. You know, could give that outside line a definite run and probably have a good finish to this race.
Lap 111 of 113, 2 to go, 23 lead changes, 6 cautions totaling out 16 laps. Not a bad race at all. We've got Mark Jackson lined up side by side with Jimmy Crow. Pace car is in. Donald Stewart side by side with Kevin Scott Nelson. Jimmy Crow taking a bit of a lead out there. This is going to be a good one, and away they go. Oh, the 224 not on Jimmy Crow. And away goes Mark Jackson, the number 78. I'm not sure what happened to the 111 and the 224, but they did not go. Maybe this is a strategy. Donald Stewart backing off. Mark Jackson stranded in front. Here comes the 111, hooked up to the 78. Mark Jackson up in front of Jimmy Crow. Donald Stewart off road. There's a wreck. They're going. Mark Jackson side by side with Kevin Scott Nelson. We are green flag. Kevin Scott Nelson side by side with Mark Jackson. Jimmy giving everything he's got to Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson may win the 5th annual. It's tight. He's blocking. He's going for it. Mark Jackson, 5 wide, 111, up the middle. 111. 111. I do believe the 111 won. Wow, Donald. Wow. Dave, can you check on that for me?
I am working on it. I'm still in delay here.
And I am still in shock. You know, in fact, I want to back that up a little bit. I want to take a look at that finish. Because I tell you what, it looked to me like the 111 shot up that middle. Looks like it, to me, looks like it was a 111 and the number 16 and the number 3 is what I'm looking at.
It looks like the 111 got it.
With the number 3 and the number 16. All right, let's get the number 3 in booth. How about it, Mark Jackson? You got a copy?
Top 3 boys.
Hey, Mark.
Scott?
What I'm seeing is you got 3rd spot.
Man, I knew once. I knew once we got up in that lead, it was going to be
I know you did it on purpose, man. All right.
very, very hard to hold these guys off.
I tell you what, you did a great job, Mark. Anything you want to say out there to the fans?
Yeah, temporary.
I'm sorry, I got a lot of chatter in my ear. One thing I would love to say is that I've always loved racing with KMA, and I want to wish you, Scott, and your family a very Merry Christmas. And it's been a while since I've been raced with you guys, but you're always in my heart, Scott, and you know that.
All right, I thank you, Mark. I love you, Mark, and a Merry Christmas to you, Mark Jackson.
Thank you, buddy.
All righty, Dave. Now, we said we had Jimmy Crow, right? All righty, how about it, Jimmy Crow? You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you finishing off in 2nd place. Just a hair there above Donald. How about it?
Awesome run, exciting finish. A lot of good practice in the crow's nest, and a lot of good drivers in here as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, talk to me about that last lap there, because you guys are going 4 wide.
We was all going for it, holding our line. Kind of messed up a little bit coming out of 2, and then we were able to recover, and it was just an awesome finish. It was really good. Everybody held their line, and couldn't ask for a better finish.
All right, copy that. Good stuff, and I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Thank you, sir.
All righty, Dave, you there?
I am here, sir.
Well, I've got John in the room. I'll let you talk to John.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Man, I tell you what a switch of races from the beginning of the race. I used all 3 of my resets early. I was like, I'm never going to finish, to the way that thing finished. Holy cow, what a fantastic race.
Yep, we had 4 drivers spread out, and it was a sprint to the finish. Proud of you, buddy. You know, go kicking asphalt, and you did a great job, man. You represented our team well tonight.
Yeah, 10-4. I was a little shocked. I had moved to the high side to help out BG or Scott, and then next thing I know, it looked like the whatever the car was up front, Mark Jackson, moved up to block, and he just lost so much momentum. I just slid down and went right through the middle of him. And I was holding my breath all the way to the start-finish line.
Yeah, Kevin was the 4th car on the outside, and he just kept having to go up, trying to get around. But you were the 2nd car, and you had the momentum coming out of that turn towards the start-finish line, and, you know, game of inches.
Hey, man. In fact, I can't wait to go back and watch the replay of that thing. It had to be exciting to watch.
Yep, certainly. All right, go ahead, Scott.
I tell you what, John, great job tonight out here representing Kicking Asphalt. Had a lot of fun out here tonight. Merry Christmas to you, sir, and we'll add your name to that list of Santadega winners. Good job, John Henderson.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Hey, thanks for putting this on, and man, I have a great time racing here all the time. One of the greatest places to race.
All right, thank you, John. All right, I'll tell you what, Dave, that's it. And I think I'm going to wrap this up out of here, sir. So I hope you had a good time tonight. Thank you for joining me and helping me out. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas to you. God bless, and may Santa be good to you, Dave.
Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and your family, and to all the drivers and to all the fans out there. Have a great holiday.
All righty, and I will catch you next week at the Happy Birthday, Ivan.
Oh, okay. I'll try and be there.
All right, sounds good.
All right.